Did you know that every single sentence in English, no matter how long or short, is built from only 8 types of words? And once you understand them, grammar suddenly becomes so much easier. So here are all 8 types of words that we're going to learn. Don't worry if some of these sound new or confusing right now. We're going to go through every single one slowly with a lot of examples, and by the end, this will feel easy. Let's start with number 1, the noun. A noun names a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. Example, for person, teacher, doctor, student, or friend. For place, school, park, or library. For thing, book, phone, coffee. An idea, things we cannot touch like freedom, love, or education. Let's see them in real sentences. The teacher explained the lesson very clearly. Teacher is the noun, it is a person. We study all morning in the library. Library is the noun, it is a place. She put her book on the table. Book and table both are noun, they are things. Education opens many doors in life. Education also a noun, it is an idea. So nouns are everywhere. In fact, nouns are usually the subject of the sentence. Here's the common mistake many learners make. Saying something like, I saw a beautiful, and just stopping. That doesn't work because beautiful is an adjective and it needs a noun after it. So we need to say, I saw a beautiful painting. One more thing, proper nouns. The specific names of places or days. Example, London, New York City, Monday, or January. Always start with a capital letter, so please keep that in mind. Number 2, the pronoun. A pronoun replaces a noun so we don't repeat it over and over. Imagine saying, the student studies hard. The student wants to improve. The student is doing great. That sounds repetitive, right? Instead, we say the student studies hard, he wants to improve, he is doing great. So he is the pronoun. It replaces the student. We have subject pronouns like I, you, he, she, it, we, they. These pronouns do the action. And object pronouns like me, him, her, us, them. These receive the action. Now here's the mistake I see a lot. Me and him went to the market. That is incorrect. When the pronoun is doing the action, the subject we use I and he. So the correct sentence is he and I went to the market. Number 3, and this one is very important, the verb. A verb shows action or a state of being. And here's the key rule. Every single sentence must have a verb, no exceptions. We have action verbs and state verbs. Action verbs like run, eat, write, study, or laugh. And state verbs like is, am, are, was, were, seem, or feel. Example, the children played in the garden after school. So played, that is the action verb. The weather is very cold today. Is, that is the state verb. Let's look at another example, and this is a really common mistake. She's very happy today. This sentence is missing the verb be. So the correct version is she is very happy today. Many learners forget this because their own language doesn't always need a be verb, but in English, it required every time. Number 4, adjective. An adjective describes a noun. It tells us what kind, what color, how big, or how many. Usually it comes before the noun, like a big dog, a cold day, a happy child. It can also come after the verb be. Example, the dog is big. Today is cold. The child is happy. And this is a tricky mistake. The weather is very sun today. Sun is a noun, not an adjective. The adjective form of sun is sunny. So we say the weather is very sunny today. And a helpful pattern, many adjectives are made by adding endings like y, full, or ing. So sun becomes sunny, beauty becomes beautiful, interest become interesting. Number 5, the adverb. An adverb describes a verb, an adjective, or even another adverb. It tells us how, when, where, or how much. Many adverbs end in ly like quickly, slowly, or carefully. But not all of them. Words like fast, hard, well, very, always are also adverbs. Here's one of the most common mistakes in English. She sings very good. Good is an adjective, it describes nouns. But here we need the adverb form to describe how she sings. So the correct sentence is she sings very well. The mix up between good and well happens to almost every learner. So don't worry if you made this mistake before, now you know the rule. Number 6, preposition. A preposition shows the relationship between words, usually about place, time, or direction. In, on, at, under, behind, these show place. In the car, on the bus, at school, under the roof, behind the tree. At, on, in, these also show time. At 8 o'clock, on Monday, in January. The three most important ones to remember: at for exact time or place, on for the services or days, and in for inside spaces, months, or years. This is a common mistake. I am interested on learning English. The correct preposition here is in. I am interested in learning English. This is a fixed phrase that you simply need to memorize. Other fixed combinations to remember: good at something, afraid of something, listen to something, wait for something. Number 7, the conjunction. A conjunction joins words or sentences together, like a bridge connecting two ideas. The most common ones are called fanboys. Each letter stands for one conjunction: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. For gives a reason. She rested for she was tired. And adds two ideas: I like tea and coffee. Nor adds a second negative. He doesn't eat meat, nor does he drink milk. But shows contrast. He studies hard, but he failed. Or shows a choice. Do you want tea or coffee? Yet shows a pride contrast. She is busy, yet she always helps others. So show a result. It was raining, so I stayed home. We also have subordinating conjunctions like because and although. Because give a reason. She passed because she studied hard. Although shows something unexpected. Although it rained, we played outside. Now here's a mistake to watch out for. Although she studied hard, but she failed. This uses two contrast words together, although and but. That is a double conjunction error. They mean the same thing, so you only need one. The correct sentence is, although she studied hard, she failed. And finally, number 8, interjection. This one is the easiest. An interjection expresses sudden emotion, and it usually stands alone. Strong emotion uses an exclamation mark, like wow, ouch, or yes. Mid emotion uses a comma. Well, I'm not sure. Let me think. And the best part, interjections don't follow strict grammar rules. Just think about how you feel and say it naturally. One small thing to remember: wow, that is very great news. Great already means excellent, so adding very is unnecessary. Just say great news or wonderful news. Okay, now let's put everything together. Here is one full sentence. Wow, the old man quickly walked into the park and he smiled. Let's break down every single word. Wow is interjection, the is article, old is adjective, man is noun, quickly is adverb, Walked is verb, into is preposition, the is article, park is noun, and is conjunction, he is pronoun, and smiled is verb. See that every word has a job. 12 words, and we just identify all 8 parts of speech working together in one sentence. That is the powerful of understanding grammar. Now let's do a quick recap of the most common mistake we covered today. We don't say I have a car red, but we say I have a red car. Adjective comes before a noun in English. We don't say she's very happy. We say she is very happy. English always need the verb be, never skip it. We don't say he speaks very good. We say he speaks very well. Good is adjective, well is adverb. We use well after a verb. We don't say me and her went to school. We say she and I went to school. Use I, he, she, we, they as subjects. Use me, him, her as objects. We don't say although he tried, but he failed. We say although he tried, he failed. Never use although and but together. Pick only one. And the last one, we don't say Tom went to school, Tom was late. We say Tom went to school, he was late. Replace the second noun with a pronoun to avoid repetition. If you remember just these 6 things, you'll already avoid the most common errors that English learners make. And this is a cheat sheet with everything we learned today all in one place. Screenshot this right now, save it, and look at it every day. For the next week, I promise this 8th part of speech will become second nature to you. That's it for today's lesson. You now know all 8 parts of speech, and this is the foundation for everything we'll learn together going forward. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.